Eating a snack.
Well, let's just take them out. We're all breathing. We're all breathing.
Breathe in, breathe out.
How are you?
Hello, Mac. Oh, Daisy's giving me
What
like
is that?
the serious
Why is there a
stare.
puppy on your phone?
This is Princess as a baby. Today's
I thought you meant you
Princess's birthday.
I thought you were gonna get a new dog, and that was it.
Do you know what? We talked a lot tonight about adult issues like real estate, taxes, babies, and now a dog will be what I land on. No, definitely not. I got Daisy. I like having Daisy.
Yeah, you have the best of looks. It's a baby.
All right.
Okay.
Bring us home.
What's up, everyone? And welcome to the best Thursday ever, because you're with Sarah and I, and you're listening to the Rival and Queen podcast.
Oh, Ashley, what a Thursday. The best Thursday.
Times are good. The weather is warming up. My birthday's approaching.
Oh!
The vibes are high.
I feel like we did an emotional clearing when we talked about your birthday last week, maybe.
We're not, you know what?
Okay.
Go back and listen to our mail talk if you want to hear about that.
But I just heard an upbeat tone. So anyways, we're going to keep on rolling.
We're just trucking along.
We're trucking along, and we have got a very fun episode today. A little bit.
I'm just laughing because I think I just said chucking along.
We're chucking and trucking. We're
chugging.
We're chugging and trucking and chucking along.
We're going.
We're making up sayings, and we're in it to win it.
We are in it to win it. We're not backing down.
I forgot what I was gonna say. That's okay.
I don't know.
I think I was gonna say that I'm really excited today because we have a topic that I'm like not well versed on.
But you are.
Which is pop culture. Do you think I am?
Well, I think we all know different things about pop culture because we're interested in different aspects, because it isn't just, like
reality TV
or celebrities. There's a whole array to kind of what we're talking about that makes it popular, right? Like it could be anything on the news or something that happens, I don't know, to a business that everyone knows about, some type of scam.
Right. So I famously do not watch the news or reality TV. Famously, like who fucking cares? I shouldn't swear what I swear. It's not famous, but I don't. And we got
Daisy.
We got the studio pooch is back in here. If you hear any growls today, that's Daisy back here. But you're right. There are things that I think I naturally am interested in. I just like kind of absorb them from the ether.
But I think
from
that's
the zeitgeist.
Interesting about pop culture. That's interesting is there's different things that affect us that are just happening out there, and we hear about them.
And it's funny the things you take interest in. So I will tell you, I'm excited. I came to this episode, this intro, excited to talk to you about Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee because I watched the series. Are you done it? Yeah, I'm done it. It's only one season. And actually how I absorb pop culture mostly is through things like movies or
like documentaries.
No, not documentaries actually, or like mini series. And then I will go and read literally everything I can find about the subject because I become just like so
your interest is piqued,
curious about the people. So when I watch it, because I don't actually watch a lot of movies or television, it's not that I don't have the attention span. It's just like, that's just not generally where I like to put my attention. And so I will stop and then start researching a topic for like 20 minutes in the midst of it. So I really enjoyed watching that. I learned, because we would have been 7 when their sex tape came out.
Babies.
Which was very, from their perspective. Now it's like, okay, everyone's had a sex tape. Well, not everyone, but they're kind of passe now. But when we were in our 20s, they were very like, that's how Kim Kardashian became famous. Paris Hilton had one as well. And like, whether they were, I think with Paris Hilton's, that one was not as like, I don't want to use the word contrived, but like the Kim Kardashian one was definitely like a planned PR stunt, which worked. Like, and she capitalized on that. And that's, there's no shame in that. Like, a very savvy business move, evidently. But at the time when Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee's happened, it was definitely not like a PR stunt.
She was like,
it was like their wedding
used
tape. Yeah, exactly. And I think also there was no precedent for it, and the internet was just taking off. So it just like the timing of it was insane and how it spread and the virality of that. was just kind of unprecedented at the time. And it felt like, I think, all encompassing. And then of course, like, it does affect women so differently than it affects men. And that's one of the topics that came out through the show, right? It's like the men not really grasping why this was such a big deal for her. But I think also tied to like her career not taking off at the same time and leaving Baywatch and all these things, it just would have felt like crushing.
And do you also feel like because she was Pam Anderson, she was married or just had gotten married to Tommy Lee, that people shouldn't have thought that she should be that upset about it because she's so like out there and like sexualized anyway, that she shouldn't be upset about it. But that's what's
I feel like we should have been having this conversation with Dr. Meredith Ralston, who we talked about the women's sexual revolution, because 100%, and that is another big theme. Actually, I want to ask Meredith what she thinks about it, because that was another big theme in this, is she's like, I don't have any rights because I'm a slut. Like, basically, that's how the media has deemed me, and judges and like basically culture, is because I've posed for Playboy and because I'm in Baywatch. Yeah, I have no rights to my body.
Crazy.
And that was actually like deemed in public interest for those things to be released. And like, that's disgusting.
Like the time you actually want something.
You brought this up actually.
Yeah, we talked because someone
with Meredith Ralston. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'd heard, I haven't watched this. I need to, but yeah, it's really interesting because there's a picture painted. It's almost like, I don't want to say this, but maybe we talked about this with Meredith. It's like if someone gets raped and they have a certain reputation, that people just are like, oh, like whatever, they sleep with people anyway, or you know what I mean? It's like, no, that's not okay. And it's the same. It's like you can't use people when they don't want to be used.
Well, and I think so. Again, we were children. We don't know about this really, but I think famously, there was an Oprah interview with a woman in like the 90s who said she was being raped by her husband. And the consensus was, you're not being raped by your husband, you're married to him. And that was like the thing. It was like, you've already consented once. And like, it's your, like, so I'll have to look this up to find it so we can share it. This is crazy. I forgot about all this. But that was like at the time, basically like the thought. And it is crazy to think about. And even as, oh damn, something just came in. And so now when I'm watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial a little bit, now she's on trial.
At the end of the episode.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit at the end of this episode. And when we recorded it, Johnny was still on the stand.
And now Amber is.
And I look at it and I am more critical of her. And I'm wondering, is it the lens that we typically look at women when they're telling these things? And it is like, I was so willing to believe Johnny Depp's side of it. And because he's witty and charming when he's like talking.
And she's almost like really playing up the damsel in distress, but is it like her?
But also she's doing weird things like dressing like him, which really, I'm like, that seems like manipulative and conniving a little bit. Like that seems, but maybe
like they morphed weird into one person, you know.
But he's wearing an outfit and then she wears like the same bee pin the next day. Like there's weird things like that it's like, that seems like a little malicious. So I'm having a hard time reconciling that, but I'm wondering.
That's a good point though.
I am wondering, like, am I just judging her with a harsher lens?
Yeah. And I feel like even I posted something on our Instagram about her because, I mean, she's an actress. They are the masters of manipulation because they can do anything at the drop of a dime. But
they can get into character.
They can, get into character. But with you're saying that, it's making me think, okay, are we just kind of rolling our eyes at her when she's on the stand and she's recalling these, and then like the countless things about abuse and drugs and all this stuff that he's allegedly done, we're just kind of like,
I know, that's what and I do, when I watch her things, they do seem like overacted, and I'm like, but I'm wondering, am I just being like,
that's a good point.
So now maybe I should go back and do some recon of just like clips of her from like, 5-6 years ago when she's talking about regular stuff, and see how she
But everyone's saying these messages came through our Instagram that she's like personality disorder and this and that, but no one's being like, oh, he's an abusive drug addict. You know what I mean?
Well,
food for thought.
I know. And his famous line is like, the only one he abuses is himself. So I like it again.
There's something in the middle of both of,
like where's the truth? That is now the mystery that I would like to actually know the truth of.
And we may never.
No, we may
'Cause
never,
the
but
system fails us a lot. so
I
we
know,
don't
and I'm wondering where my own bias comes in. It's all anyways.
It's all interesting, but pop culture is, think back, I mean, we won't get into it because we're going to dive in here soon, but remember even in elementary school when thinking of O.J. Simpson and the murder trial.
Did you know that? I was definitely not aware.
Yes, that was, I remember when they announced it at our school.
Why would they announce it?
Because it was like the big, I don't know.
Isn't that crazy that they announced it at elementary school? Like,
It happened.
like think about that for a
I think
second
they
though.
did it as a joke,
A
but it was probably
trial.
more for the teachers.
Yeah,
not actually for
okay.
the students, but I remember.
But like, think of that out of context.
Yeah.
There's a trial happening in
murder.
California, a murder, and they're in Middleton, Nova Scotia, are announcing it at an elementary school over the PA. Like that's
Yeah, at
insane.
Annapolis East Elementary School, AEES in Middleton. If anyone else remembers this, please let me know.
I think that's amazing.
But I'm just saying, like, all these things like affect us, and just media and pop culture. It's kind of crazy.
It is.
Instagram, like there's just stuff that's getting flooded to us all the time.
We are so influenced. And so that's actually one of the reasons I just refuse to watch reality TV, is because it's just like, especially if you're zoning out and things like that, it's just like our subconscious, we eat that stuff up, and we never know the messages we're taking from things.
Oh, I love it so much.
So I know. And that's like a
So
personal
entertaining.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me. But, and I know it's great entertainment.
I just like to see, to wrap it up, I just like to see, even though these people are acting now, you know what I mean? Like they're very famous and on TV, I'm just like, how do these people interact? Like, it just like appear into
It
these
is
lives
fun
that
to
I would
see
I'll never be a part of. You know what I mean?
It is fun to see their mannerisms. And like, even though they're not necessarily real, I will admit, when you and I one night watched 3 episodes of Paris in Love, was that it?
Yeah.
We were at your house.
It was just kind of
in the
playing
background.
on and on.
I did find it entertaining hearing her. She's got like 3 to 4 different voices that
Yeah.
she uses, Paris Hilton.
She does.
And so that was really entertaining for me, because that's the most I've ever seen her in video. It has actually made me more interested in her. And now I've like researched her work, obviously through crypto and NFTs and like really what she's doing in that space. But
I think that's important because we always have like how we picture someone, we always have an idea of what that person is like, whatever their online presence may be. And though this might not be their true, authentic life,
yes,
it's a different look from different lenses, I guess, into someone's life that you might watch from afar anyway.
Yeah, you're just getting Paris's online Instagram voice, but if you watch a reality TV show, you get all her voices.
You get a baby voice. Anyway.
No, you are 100% right. And I never even, anyways, enough. Ashley, today we have 2 lovely people on with us who are going to really bring us down to pop culture.
They're the queens of pop culture. We've got Anna and Bekah, who are sisters, and the 2 voices behind Pod Weekly.
Yes.
Podcast Weekly. No, it's Weekly.
Pod Weekly.
I really wanted to have a lot of P's there.
The Pop Pod Podcast. No, the Pop Pod Weekly Podcast. And you can catch them. We'll share the links in the show notes and their Instagram as well, so you can follow along there. But we get into lots of fun topics today. I got some notes here. Oh, I turned the page for my notes actually. But we get into the leggings scandal. We get into
turn my page.
Let me turn my page. I don't know where my notes went. Anyways, I had all these notes. We talk about Phoenix Rising. We talk about the Lularoe legging scandal, which I had never heard of before.
I think it's on Netflix.
We also get into some of our favorite mysteries that we want to know the answers to. And we talk a little bit about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, and then a few other fun people to follow on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, go check them out. They're super fun and have a lot of very entertaining content.
All right.
Let's do it. The fabulous sisters here, Anna and Bekah, and we were just chatting because we have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Well, we're so excited you guys are here. Can you tell our listeners about your podcast and why you started it?
Yeah, I want to know too.
Okay. Well, we used to have another podcast, which
You
was
did?
like a health and wellness podcast. So I know it sounds like we're like druggies, but
But that is not how we actually know you.
no, exactly. I am in the health and wellness industry, and which kind of like happened from also like being so like I always was like wild child, but I think it's because I have a lot of energy and I'm like always into stuff. So then when I kind of channeled that to good, it was like, okay, I love to move. I love I love music. I love being around people. So that was like my channel into fitness, kind of replaced like all these like wild child tendencies that I had. But so we had a wellness podcast, but I just like was like, this is not like, this is what I do for a living.
Right.
And we just couldn't connect with it because we felt like we had to be so perfect on it.
Yeah, because if you're going to be talking about wellness, you just don't want to be, you want to have like your facts and your
Facts.
sources. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Right.
you just don't want to be shooting off random
Stories
advice.
that have nothing to do with fitness, which is pretty much what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of going the opposite. So then we're both like podcast junkies, reality TV junkies. Like I'm pop culture junkie, and actually in school I studied like media and communications. So
Oh,
it's kind of,
amazing.
like like always been something that's I'm super passionate about. But yeah, so we just wanted to talk like about other stuff, fun stuff,
Yeah.
fashion, pop culture, all that stuff.
I love, there's an Australian podcast that I really like sometimes, and it's called Shameless. And their
Yeah.
whole thing is they're like smart girls who like dumb stuff.
Yeah,
And that's like that's their tagline.
yeah, that's pretty
Well,
much.
that's kind of what we
Like our tagline is like, let's talk about other people's problems, because it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to like
Yes.
talk about like, because anything in pop culture, it is society at large. That's why
Yeah.
it's called popular culture. It's like, it is what is happening in the world, but it's packaged in this like super like palatable, like easy to talk about way with characters and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah,
why we
exactly.
like love, you can like take a like big walk around the park and like gossip about something that's so harmless because it's not anybody you
people
know.
in your
It's like,
life.
it's like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
talk about the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then, yeah, we started our podcast and we're just having a lot of fun with it. We really just love doing it.
It's so nice. It's nice that you guys get to do it together as sisters too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That's how we
favorite
bond.
part.
Yes.
Becca, what's your background?
So I so I studied finance and accounting, and I work in accounting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have my own business, and I worked at a mirror for a long time, and that was fun. But then I just got burnt out on corporate life because
Mm.
I wanted to do other things. Like I just find that, especially if you want to have a successful corporate career, it just felt like I had to be all in that. And if I wasn't all in that, then I just wanted to be completely out and
Yeah.
have time to like, we do big nature walks every day.
Oh, so nice.
I like to make like, I just felt like I had no time. My whole entire life was just about this job. And when I had kids, I was like, I wanted more of a balance. So I like being out on my own because then I can work and still fulfill all that, but then also like go on a nature walk when
And do
Anna texts me.
podcasts.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
do
do a
podcasts.
podcast on a Wednesday afternoon.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes, love doing multiple things.
Yeah. And we've always been like, our parents are entrepreneurs. Our grandfather was an entrepreneur. Like being in corporate never felt right. And I would
Mhm.
always like mess up in meetings. And I just never felt like I fit in corporate at all. So I just was like, but I loved working in business and I loved what I did. And now
Yeah.
that I'm out on my own and I work with entrepreneurs, I just feel like it's such a better mix because I'm like, they're funky like me. Like I would just always be like saying, like trying to be funny in a meeting and they'd be like, can you not?
An inside joke you have going with yourself is not
Yeah.
translating.
Well, I remember one day it was so
This
embarrassing.
is a serious meeting.
It was someone said something about boots with the fur, and I was like, apple bottom jeans with the, and it was like dead silent.
They're like,
Everyone
no,
was like,
legitimately boots with fur.
yeah, they were like, no, she just, and I was just like, you guys don't get me at all, at all.
Yeah.
But Amira is awesome. It was a great place to work. I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Oh, no, Oh, no. And
They're just better at doing meetings.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Way better.
it's such a different vibe being in a corporate environment. I think we can
Yes.
totally relate to that. Yeah.
Yes, it
Yes.
is. And like growing up with our parents being entrepreneurs, we lived like a little bit more of a hippie life in the way that like all summer we would go to our cottage and our parents would like be half in the city, half there. And I just missed like that flexibility of
Mm.
being able to run your own life. And when I had kids, it was like even more blaring. I was
Mm.
like, actually, I want to run this show.
Not Amira, even though we love them.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about a few little pop culture tidbits, or like, what are you guys,
Yeah, wait.
what is exciting you right now in popular culture?
Oh, well, I think I said this the other day, but I was like, I'm loving like at first when Julia Fox and Kanye were like dating and everyone was like hating on Julia Fox. I was like, oh my God, she is so funny with like her like uncut gems and like her like
She was bugging at
her
first.
speak and her
Yeah.
But now I'm just like totally obsessed with like just like this. I love her confidence and I love how she just says what she wants. It's not necessarily palatable. And I like that. So
We
I like her.
we really like the undergrounds. Like, do you guys know who Caroline Calloway is?
No.
Okay, and like we like
We
the
like-
more underground
There's a lot
New York
happening.
type.
Yeah, there's a lot happening with like
Yeah,
artists and females and
Mm.
stuff that's just like kind of underground, but they're like very like counterculture. So we like love like the YouTubers and all that stuff. Like I'm really into YouTube and yeah.
so we're more into like people
And now
that
we're like obsessed with Tara's World, which is like on she has 3.9 million followers. She's
That's
not
amazing,
she's not
yeah.
a secret, but she's this like young girl from LA that just like goes on trips on cruises by herself. So like I just get like I'm saying like now I'm so addicted to TikTok because it's like the actual reality TV.
Right.
Like I love how people will just film their everyday.
and Caroline Calloway,
Yeah.
she's this New York author. Well,
No,
Is
she
she
hasn't
an
written her
author?
book. It's called yeah, she what did
she had a really famous Instagram because she went to
Cambridge.
Cambridge. So it was very like Harry Potter-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then she had this big fallout and moved to New York, and she's pretty much now like a druggie.
Well,
And
according to you. But
Would she
yeah,
just have deleted all of her posts?
that
She
would
just
that would
did.
be something she would do.
because she
But look at
just
her picture.
she just left New York, and when she left it, there was like this huge article about her apartment because it was so bad. She left it in like
Like-
complete shambles,
Yeah.
and like she does a lot of like she was doing.
She's called like a
OnlyFans.
scammer because she's done like
Right.
she sold a bunch of pre-sales for a book, but she doesn't know if she wants to write a book.
And she got a huge.
But she got all the
Yeah.
upfront. Yeah.
Yes, she made a skincare product called snake oil, and then she decided she doesn't want to be part of the beauty industry, even though she called it snake oil, and people bought it, and then she did not deliver on it. And she's like always like, I'll give you a refund if you want one.
Oh
She's
my
like, people
gosh.
just support my creative process in whatever capacity they can. I'm like, I just like that energy. I'm like, I need to be more like
Yeah,
that.
we love to follow like the kooky ones.
The ones that are just like, I know I'm just doing me, and if you don't like it, bye. I'm like, love it. Why am I like, we're like Canadian girls where we're like, do you like me? Do you like me? Am I doing it right?
Yeah, here's my perfect Instagram.
Here's my
and
Yes,
perfect-
perfect
I'm gonna say
life.
all the right
Yes,
things. Yeah.
actually, that's it. It's like the counterculture to like the perfect
Yeah.
bloggers. It's
I
like
love
the
that.
wild New York girls.
Yeah, that's just like completely,
Artist.
like, yeah, out
Yeah.
there.
I feel like that's hilarious. I need to follow this girl.
I know. I
Yeah,
wish
I love
there was
that.
more.
I
more
know.
content.
We used to
Content.
look at her. Yeah, we're like watch her, and then we're like, actually, she's doing nothing. But she's also the type. She's like, I'm gonna take. I think she said she was gonna take like a 3-year break. So maybe you don't want to.
Yeah, maybe she's done.
But
We'll be
watch
waiting.
Tara's World on.
Tara's World.
It's TARA and then World without an O. But she's like, she's taking a break too because people get burnt out. But she's so addictive. So anyway, we're
Oh.
into that. We're into Housewives, but again, not as much because we're finding like the more reality TV is getting more curated and more it's more far from reality.
Yeah.
And into fighting, and we're not really
Catty.
into that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we were talking about Jersey on our podcast, and with Teresa, just calling people fat. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just don't want to watch this.
Can't relate.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just mean.
It
and
is me.
catty, where it used to kind of just be following them, and they would have like their businesses, and but now it's just like everyone wants that like big fight moment. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, we don't want that.
And I just don't think that's realistic.
No.
No. Like we went to dinner with a group of women last night.
No
No
one
one got in a
got in a
fight.
No one got in
Imagine
a
that.
fight.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been left without paying for my bill and no one was
No one
upset.
got mad at you.
But someone did pay for Sarah's bill, just for the record.
Yeah,
I
but
did.
there's drama behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
say
so
anything mean
interesting.
to your face.
Remember, did you watch Laguna Beach and the Hills?
No, I never
Those were
watched those.
So
Mm.
like they were sitting there looking at their phones, and years later
Yeah.
it came out that the producers would be telling them kind of what to
Yes.
say or what
When they were
to
on their
bring
phones?
up. Yeah,
Oh,
and-
interesting.
and
Yeah.
like looking back at it now, like that was so
It was-
ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's like, what are the chances
And they're
you're
teenagers.
like going to the beach with your friend that you hate to tell her that you hate her? It's like you would never be at the beach with her then.
I just can't imagine
no.
having
Funny.
cameras on you all the time and like
Yeah.
the pressure. I don't know.
Yeah. So we're a little bit. We love to hate the Kardashians. Like I like Kim, but I know she's. she
We've
canceled this
never-
week.
Is she?
She's
No,
what?
I don't know.
She said she's canceled.
I said,
this
is she
week.
canceled this week? I don't know.
Oh
'cause
yeah.
her,
They're
like,
canceled every
People
other
don't
week.
like to work. That was
Yeah.
like the last cancellation.
I thought that one was really funny. I know it was like
I thought it
offensive, but I
was
thought it
hilarious.
was so funny. But
Well, we had a
it's very on brand for her. You have a secret.
No, well, it was actually funny because Mark was part of this.
Our little brother.
Our little brother, we have an unreleased podcast that was
Oh.
3 entrepreneurs going wild about
People not
nobody
wanting to
wants
work.
Oh, amazing.
And then we were like,
literally, I was like, guys, I don't want to post this podcast because it's so niche that like 1% of the population is going to
We'll relate to this.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other part of the population is going to be like, stop yelling at me. And I was like, it's just not going to be good. Like, I don't like this. It was just bad. And so we never released it. And then literally a week later, I like sent them the text of Kim like being like, nobody wants to work these days. And I was like, I'm so glad we never posted that.
Oh my gosh. So you guys recorded this with 3 other.
No, just us
just us
three.
three.
Oh, the 3 of
Okay.
you.
Just the 3
Okay.
of us. And we
Yeah.
just kind of like, we were all having like, as on, I don't know if you guys go through these days, but when you own your own business, you go through like those days where like, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's like, you're running the whole
doing
shit.
everything.
You're
Yeah.
paying all the bills. There's no sick days. There's no, anyway, I'm not gonna get on the tangent.
Yeah,
that
we won't
went on.
go.
Yeah.
We won't go there, but anyway, we're just saying like, we went off on. a
Yeah, well,
tangent, and
Anna
it
was like, she probably had a bad day with someone that
yeah,
day.
it felt very targeted.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
probably like specifically.
It felt like she was
towards
talking
one
to like
person.
one person.
Yeah,
like an
someone
employee
screwed
she
up.
might have like just fired like the
Yeah.
day before
Yeah.
for like calling in sick or something.
I feel like everyone just has such a different version of what feels good in work. Like some people
Yeah.
are working for the government, they have like the stability and
Yeah,
like
I get
Yeah.
that
that.
the
Yeah.
other. So I don't know. Yeah, being an entrepreneur, Kim snapped that day.
It's
Yeah.
and it's not for
She did.
everyone.
It's
I
not,
always
and there's
like, being
days-
an entrepreneur is not.
Yeah, and there's days
Mm.
every day that I'm like, oh, it'd be so nice to have a job. You know what I mean? Like I just
Just
like
show
I
up.
could- Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like-
and then just leave.
Just
Yeah,
sit
it's
there.
like,
Yeah.
Imagine getting a paycheck.
Our
from
parents
somebody
used to always
else.
say
Yeah.
that. They'd be like, don't become an entrepreneur, just get like a job,
Job.
get a pension.
Yeah,
And I tried.
yeah. So
Yeah. You gave it some
I
good
gave it a
effort.
good, yeah, I give it a good 10
yeah, and I
years.
love all the memes about like the different like workplace like Gen
Yeah.
X's and
millennials. Yeah.
and like Gen Z's and how everyone has different like boundaries and like
Mm.
ideas of what like workplace should be because it's so different. Like when you're working with people 20 years younger than you, it's like the workplace culture has changed
So much, yeah.
And the pandemic has changed it even more because people are working from home. So they have this new like maybe work-life balance. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I know for parents, it's like very helpful to be home and be able to like throw in a load of laundry while you're, like running to the washroom, like the multitasking aspect, I
Yeah.
think really helped out a lot of parents. But then for some, it was like when the kids were home from school too, it was literally impossible. It's like you're on a conference call and there's kids screaming in the background.
Mhm.
So
I feel like it's humanized everyone who works together though,
yeah,
to some degree. It's
Yeah.
not just like women who have children that they
Yeah.
have to go help when they
Right.
leave work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a part of everyone's life now.
yeah, and it's good
Yeah.
for people to like see that, maybe you don't need to make the commute. Maybe that time can be used doing other things.
And it's okay if you have a child and have to stay home with them
Right.
that day.
And that day you can work from home or what, you know what I mean? Or not work. I don't know. That's-
We have some poodles in the studio with
Yeah,
us.
we do.
Daisy is causing a ruckus here today. She's trying to get.
She really wants Oatmeal to play with her.
He's having a
She's not a well-trained studio dog, unlike Oatmeal, who
He's very good.
Doesn't make a peep.
That's why I can't bring Teddy because he's also a poodle, but he's
That would have been something. We always
You
say,
crash
because a
into
few of
things.
our friends have dogs, and specifically poodles, and 3 is too many.
3 poodles is too many
Oh,
poodles.
Yeah, they'd be way too hyper.
2
yeah.
poodles is the right amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
want
she's
another
so
one.
sweet.
I don't want that size.
I know you should get a little one.
Yeah, I think I want another dog.
Do you?
Yes.
What do you have now?
I have my miniature poodle Teddy,
Okay.
and he's like half poodle, half Bichon.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, he's very cute, and he's my first dog ever. So we didn't even have family dogs growing up, so I didn't know what dogs were like, and I was like, I never understood dogs because we always
Or
had
dog
cats.
people. We never understood dog
Yeah, like
people.
people would be
Mm.
like, "Oh, my fur baby," and I'd be like, "Okay, that's not a baby." Now, literally, my baby Teddy is an actual baby, and he sleeps in my arms every night, cuddled up with his little head on my shoulder,
Oh.
and he is a full baby.
Daisy's
Mark
getting
goes,
excited.
"My
Like, where is
baby."
this?
And you
Teddy?
love him.
I love
Yeah,
him so
exactly.
much. I'm like, I need another dog for no reason whatsoever. Just to keep
More
this.
love.
I'm like
Yeah.
you guys. I've never had a dog. ever,
Oh.
or animal, period.
Mm,
Fish, but that
that
doesn't
one?
count. Maybe someday. I would like one.
I could see you'll be obsessed.
Yeah.
You'll just be
Yeah.
obsessed.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that might be part of the problem,
You're
Yeah.
scared
you know?
that
You'll
you'll
love
be
it too much.
You'll love it too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you travel though?
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
problem with the
That's the problem
dog.
with the dog.
You need a small dog. You can take them
Well,
with you.
that's why you have
Yes.
Daisy. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a good, like, you and your sister are probably good resource
Yeah.
to like flip it.
Yeah.
back.
Daisy is with me for 2 weeks now because my sister and Pat left on vacation last night.
So Daisy's not your dog?
No, it's my sister's dog,
Oh.
but we like share her. So
So
when
you're
they're
on to me.
working, if they need, like, she'll come and stay
She's
with me a
on
few
to
days
Yeah,
during the
because
week.
Jen
Yeah.
work is across the street
Oh,
from Sarah.
cute. Do you have a dog?
No, I
You should
just,
share
I
one.
like sharing.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's
A dog.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I have Daisy for 2 weeks. I have her 2 days through the week.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time I do whatever I want.
That's a good call. I feel like I shouldn't get another dog because then it's gonna be too much work and mom and dad might not want 2 dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, you have to have,
I also have
Support.
2 children, so like, like, can you take my 2 dogs, my 2 kids?
And
Have-
just for a few weeks while I go away.
We're like, on a
Yeah.
trip. Yeah, exactly.
so tell, is there anything else we should know about the podcast? Like what else are you guys getting up
Well,
to?
we're kind of starting to do some more deep dives.
Okay, I'm so excited about this because
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, I want to know what some of your like favorite pop culture stories are to dive
Okay.
into.
We love, okay, like have you guys watched the Lularoe documentary?
No.
It's their leggings. They're a multi-level marketing company that sells leggings.
It's so good.
And there's a documentary called Lula Rich. So we do a deep dive on that, but I just watched a second one on Discovery Plus. I forget what it's called, but it's a Lularoe. But these are like amazing stories. It's to hear the things that happen.
And
in
the
these-
people they interview, like the 2 owners, are just literally like rolling their eyes. So they've ripped off all these people because it's an MLM.
Yeah.
And they've
well,
all
not
these.
that all MLMs are like that, but they can.
They break down the math and they pretty much
The-
say statistically it's impossible.
It's like a
There's like
1%
6,
chance.
yeah, there's like 6% or I watched
You
a
have
whole
to
like
get
John
in on the
Oliver.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
yeah.
can only go down to like 13 levels and he has this whole mathematical
Yeah.
equation. It's like, no, it can't keep going.
I think that
There's
it's
not enough people on
im-
the planet.
important, like, because I know there's probably people listening to this that do MLMs. I think it's just important to know the stats and know, like,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
a lot of people, and even like I say this for all jobs, and even when I hire people, like, let's read through these contracts because
Mhm.
you never want to get blindsided, right? You want to
Mhm.
know the actual statistics, not what the problem is with like in Lularoe and like a lot of these companies where they're like, you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business. You don't. Like
No.
if the business folds, you have nothing.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it
So you
also
have
has-
to keep that in mind. And
Yeah.
then you also have to see like these cult leaders that are like promising you the world. Like you also need to like fact check, like, are they qualified to be coaching you into spending your whole life savings on leggings? Like some of these people spend like
No.
put $20,000 on a credit card.
That's the thing that I think is insane when you need such big like upfront buys to like
Yes.
buy in.
To hold
Terrifying.
inventory. And
Yeah.
the thing as a business person that annoys me is they have like minimum inventories. So even if you're like, I'm good, I don't need any inventory.
Yeah.
They make you buy inventory.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's the
No,
thing.
that's what doesn't make sense.
And that's the thing that
Exactly.
doesn't make sense is like the qualifying volume, like where they say you have to purchase like this amount every month personally. To me, that's wrong because I would never like, just say you're working for a skincare company and they're saying you need to buy $150 worth of your own personal skincare every month to get your commission. But I would never normally spend that much on my skincare.
Mhm.
Or if I do, like 1 month, great. Maybe 1 month I spend 300. Maybe I have great products, so it lasts me 3 months. Like
it's not forced.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think there should be like a forced amount of money that you personally need to sell to be able to get your paycheck.
But I feel like that's just
But
like the
that's how they
same
get
thing
their
with
paycheck.
insurance. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like they make their
Paycheck
revenues off the
off
balance.
that.
Yeah.
If they have like 10 consultants under them and they all have a minimum of say, you have to spend $400 a month and they make commission off that, they don't need to sell and move any product whatsoever. They just need to get the commission off their sales reps. So
And more sales reps. to sign
Yeah,
up.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
so watch that.
But it's really good
It's
because
really good.
The couple is like, they'll ask them questions like, why did you guys send them product that was moldy? And they're like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like they didn't know they were being videoed.
Yeah. So they made so many
This is
leggings that they
amazing.
ended up storing them outside.
What?
So in like California.
Yeah.
In like California or something. So they shipped out these leggings to all these consultants and everyone's selling it on their Facebook lives. They're like, hey, hun. They call them
Hey,
huns.
huns.
Because they're
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I've got 10 new pairs of leggings. Okay. And then they like sell on
Oh
Facebook
my
Live.
God.
So they get these leggings, they open the package and they smell like rotten eggs
Oh my
because they've
God.
all been damp and in the thing. And then one girl goes to put her foot on and her foot goes right through the pant because
What?
they've like disintegrated.
Oh my God.
So they refuse to give them their money
crazy.
back. And then they start telling them like they start handing out a PDF on how to put on leggings because they're so cheap that they're like, you need to like
They were like, make sure your
open the egg,
toenails.
make sure your
are
toenails are
long.
cut.
What?
Yes.
Are these people super rich now because
Yes.
of this? Okay.
Extremely rich. So
Oh my
it's a
God.
Mormon family from Utah, I think. And they
Yes.
have like
Like 14
a
kids.
lot of kids. 2 of their kids are married.
Yeah, and that's
To
the,
each other?
that's at the
But one of-
beginning of the documentary too.
What?
They're not biological, but they were like
They adopted.
Oh,
them.
they
They
grew up
adopted
together.
like 3 or 4 children.
from Ukraine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, it's a very good documentary. So we did a deep dive on that, which was really, really awesome.
I
And
can't wait to watch
you
this.
should
Yeah.
watch it. You'll just love it. There's so many characters in it, and the consultants that sold it, like they're such endearing people, and I
Yes.
think that's why it's like so powerful to watch because they're like,
Mm.
you can tell they went in this with like this was their way out. Like they wanted to believe that they were going to do this. And some of them sold, like one lady was like selling millions of dollars, but she was spending millions of dollars. Like
Right.
she's like, I
Insane.
sold 12,000 this month, but I spent 12,000 this month.
On the
So when they
product.
actually did the math, yeah, like you make the $1 million club, but how much have you spent? So
Right.
a lot of them are in bankruptcy now, but
But I just find it's very predatory towards women because the whole marketing is like, you don't have to work and you can be at home with your kids.
Yeah.
And we know people that are in MLMs that are successful and they work their ass off. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as
it's a
just
full-time
like,
job is a full-time job.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're just moving product.
You get what you put
Yeah,
into
you
it.
do,
Yeah.
like anything. But on another documentary that I
Okay.
just watched, have you guys watched Phoenix Rising yet? This is like the
No.
polar opposite. It's like super sad and depressing.
No.
What is that one?
Okay, so Rachel Evan Wood, who's an actor, she was in 13.
Yes.
She's in a bunch of stuff now. She's like a
She's like
talented
back in the
actress.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like 90s.
She, as a teenager, dated Marilyn Manson. She
Right.
was 18. He was 37. But he kind of groomed her, like he was kind of coming off as like a mentor to her.
Ugh.
He was married to Vita. How do you say that?
Vita
Vita.
I can't believe how old is he now then? I didn't know
He's
he
in
was that
his-
old.
Yeah, he
40s.
must be like
Oh, yeah,
in
no.
his 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
He's come up a lot in the Johnny Depp trial.
it's
And
terrible.
they're-
I forgot
Yes.
about him and he
Yes.
creeps me out.
He's
besides
so
that.
creepy.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the thing. They're like, it's a wolf in wolf's clothing. It's like it was almost the
Yes.
fact that he's like. So anyway, it comes down to Rachel. He beats like it's like this BDSM relationship where it's supposed to be like, you know, dominatrix style, but it's actual physical abuse that and mind control and starvation. And
Oh my
he
God.
has like a soundproof like room in his house and he's saying it's consensual, but these women are like, no, you tortured the fuck out of me. And
So he's a sicko.
yeah, he's a sicko, but the reason why people were like almost like it's almost shocking because it's like he's almost too on the nose. Like it's like
Right.
he's like
Yes.
it's like they were I was listening to this podcast and they were kind of comparing it like Bill Cosby had the opposite where like he was like the best dad in the world and like so
You
peachy
never
and clean.
suspected him.
You
Yeah,
never
Yeah.
the
suspected him.
Jello commercials with all the
Exactly.
kids.
And then
Yeah.
he turns out to be a sicko. But
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson is the opposite. It's like
He looks like
he's literally
creeper.
saying to people like I'm a sadistic psycho. He even wrote a book where he talks about how he turned himself purposely into like a cold-blooded like psychotic person. He has an
Right.
actual like autobiography that he wrote. So anyway, it's about her journey. And I think one of the craziest things I learned, sorry, I feel like I'm talking so much about it,
No, go
but one of
ahead.
the craziest things I learned, we're going to do a podcast on this, but
Oh,
the statute of limitations for like sexual assault is like 1 to 3 years.
The look of him makes me
In
want
the
to
US?
Yes.
Ah,
Can
don't
you
even look
imagine
at that.
being
Yeah, I
locked
mean, he
in a
looks the
home?
same as
But,
he
like,
always
look how
did.
But
creepy
didn't
he looks
Evan
there.
say that too? Evan was like, I wasn't even attracted.
She was like,
to
the first
him.
time he tried to make out with me, I was so confused. And then the media was calling her like a home wrecking whore, but she was a teenager. He was 37. He was the one that was
manipulated her.
married.
Yeah.
She was like, I didn't even know we were dating. And then he like kissed me and I felt so like scared. And she obviously had been working since she was a teenager. But
Mhm.
her like the thing that I found really interesting too, and I think like people should pay more attention, is like she was being abused by like the industry for so long. Like she
Yeah.
was in a movie called 13 where she was a teenager and she made it with an adult. She was like, it was my first kiss and I hated it.
Mm.
And I was like,
Disturbing.
Brooke Shields talks a lot about that when she was
Yeah.
growing up too.
like,
Yeah,
it
she was
Like she was
so
like
young.
naked when she was like 12 years old on
that
screen.
that beach, what's it called?
Laguna.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Blue
that-
Lagoon. Yeah.
that
Blue
was
Lagoon.
such a like, or even like so gross, like the movie like Lolita,
Yeah.
which is about someone falling in love with a 12-year-old.
oh
And
my,
there's a lot of like
versions.
there's a lot of
They were like, let's remake that great story again.
yeah.
no.
Like
So-
who kept green lighting that?
Yeah, and Rachel even talks about how, and she went 16 years without saying anything. So that's why she's trying to change like the statute of limitation.
I'm so surprised that's what it is
Yeah,
in
it
the
got
US.
changed to 3 to 5 now because of like
I
the
know.
Phoenix Act. But like they were saying, like, look at the Catholic Church, for example. How long
Yeah.
did it take some of those people to come out?
Yeah. Well,
20 years
but
of
the-
shame, and then
Yeah.
you might say like I was molested, but like when you're a victim, you feel so bad about yourself and you're so
Mhm.
beaten down that you don't come forward because you're embarrassed
mhm,
or ashamed because your abuser told you
mhm.
that
Yeah.
first of all they might kill you
And
if
no-
you tell
no
anyone.
more
Or you
believe
just
you.
want to move on from it, right?
Right,
Like,
or
yeah.
you're like trauma and
Push
you
it
locked
away.
it in a box
Yeah,
somewhere, right?
yeah.
So she's been working on trying to change that.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing for Bill Cosby. Like, he's not in jail anymore, but like the statute of limitations like freed him from a lot of different cases. Even though he was like human trafficking too, because he was drugging girls
Oh
and
my
taking them
God.
across state lines.
That's crazy.
Oh.
And Rose McGowan, is that how you say her
Yeah.
name?
Yes.
Yes.
That
the meat-
director guy.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's another case. It's
And
just
she had to like sell her house and stuff. I remember she was on one of those real estate shows and auction off everything in her home, have an estate sale essentially. I mean, that's when you die, but same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because her legal bills to fight
right.
him in court were so much, she had like no money left.
And she got
It's crazy.
blacklisted, so she
Yeah.
couldn't work, and so did like.
And
there's
yeah, she's
Ashley
very
Judd said-
blacklisted
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
media, even still. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like making people uncomfortable. Like when she came out strong.
Yeah.
And it might not be palatable. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Crazy.
Well, that's like that show Sam and Cat. No, I don't know if anybody know. Do you guys know Ariana Grande used to be on?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yes,
Nickelodeon
on
or
Disney.
the Disney.
Yeah.
show.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But so there was two co-stars. There was Ariana and then this other girl.
Yeah,
And she's come out and she's blacklisted
Really?
because of the
abuse that
producer.
goes on at like Nickelodeon and Disney.
What?
And she's never worked again. And I always wondered because
Where
the
she
kids would
went.
watch it, and I'm like, oh my God, she's really funny. And Ariana's really cute in it too. And I'm like, whatever happened to that girl? Went down a YouTube rabbit
Yeah.
hole, and she's essentially blacklisted because she spoke out about someone who abused her.
Or
It's
one more
crazy.
example, look at Amanda Bynes,
Yes.
was
Oh,
like
and she's
a
gone
child
off
star.
the deep end.
Yeah, and she always says that like there's so many like behind the scenes of her literally having like nervous breakdowns as a child, saying she did not want to do it. And she was like forced into it, like abused, and now she's like
Literally
she was just in a
having mental breakdown.
conservatorship for 9 years. So
Mm.
she's another like Britney. And now she's completely having a breakdown. And
Didn't
it's-
she tattoo her face or something?
Yeah, she has a heart tattooed on her face.
Like,
She's just
it's
in like
a
some
sin.
domestic violence thing in the public with her partner. Yeah. She had a secret Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she's told Drake to come murder her.
Vagina.
Oh yeah, I remember
That
that.
was like the beginning when everyone was like, Amanda?
I used to babysit kids on my street,
Families.
and they were obsessed with
With
that
the-
show.
I
And she
loved
was
that
like
show
so
too.
Yeah.
goofy and
Yeah,
energetic.
She was
so
adorable.
cute.
Yeah.
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 She's
Yeah.
almost unrecognizable now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's sad.
I know. So we like doing deep dives like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
like the juicy dark
I
side.
like the
I like
On the
this.
dark side.
Like,
yeah.
look into things, people. They're not always as like safe
yeah.
as you think.
That's a good point.
And I
Yeah.
think it's important to ask questions. Like even, okay, Kanye West and Marilyn Manson were hanging out like a month ago, and Marilyn Manson was going to Sunday service. And like, this is the
Ew.
whole thing where like Rachel Evan Woods, like there's Hollywood is so messed up and there's so much power and money that people will sacrifice
misogynistic.
people to, you know, make money. You
Yeah,
know?
and it's usually at a woman's expense.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
Crazy.
Your network
Yeah,
matters.
anyway, what are
That
you guys into?
Yeah. I feel like all the listeners need to go over to the Pop Pod weekly
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
and
learn more.
We
Hear these
definitely
deep
don't
dives.
hold back. Well, that's
Good.
one thing that
The
we've kind of realized
honesty.
having the podcast, like we've left a couple times and been like, oh my God, like I'm exhausted. Like, should we say all this? But then it's like, but why not? Like, just say it all.
Yeah, you
I would
just do
say
an
you don't
awesome
have to try to
job.
find any skeletons in my closet. They're all out there. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
put them out there yourself.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, before we dive in and play our fun game, I'm going to ask each of you a question.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What, I'll ask Becca first. What's lighting you up right now? What are you excited about?
Like just in life?
Anything. Yeah.
I think just tennis. Me and my husband play a lot of tennis.
And look at your
I know.
sweater.
Ready for summer.
And that's like something we always do like every night in the summer and in the
So
spring.
fun.
We've already started. Yeah. And I'm
Fun.
excited to
I
do
love
that.
tennis
I know that's a
too.
lame thing to say,
No.
but it's the first thing that came to my mind.
I love
I love
that.
tennis.
Yeah.
That's
You guys have a
amazing.
tennis court across from on your
We
street.
do,
Yeah,
we
so
do.
good.
Yeah.
It's
and
fun at
perfect.
night
Yes.
if there's lights. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good like after work thing to do.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So I guess that's what's lighting me up.
No,
Tennis.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. What's lighting me up right now is I'm actually really taking care of my schedule right now. So
Ooh, what does that mean?
I am sleeping in. And
Okay,
for me, like,
when?
Yeah,
my
how-
kids go to school, their school starts at 8:30. So I just do not set an alarm clock and I just sleep until I want to sleep. And I feel like the pandemic actually that kind of did that for me,
Mm.
where I knew I didn't need to leave my house or make lunches or anything for the kids. So I would just sleep until I naturally
Wake up.
had
Mm.
to. And for so many years, like I'm like not the best sleeper. I don't want to put that into the universe because you know what we think about, we bring about. But I'm a great sleeper. Is an
Me
affirmation.
too. I'm
Yeah.
such a great sleeper.
Yeah, but I'm a very, so like I have been kind of, like I said no to someone today, saying no to things that like
Mm,
don't light me up or that I know I won't enjoy. So
Mhm.
just say like, you're like, I want to do that for like, you know, I want to do that, but I know it's going to burn me out. I know
Mhm.
I'm not going to be able to give it my all. And if my heart's not in it, it's not going to benefit anybody.
mm.
Totally.
So just putting like out, like just being really intuitive, like letting my body rest when it needs to, saying yes to the right things, like, and doing what feels good in my brain and body. I'm just like kind of trying to like ease in. Like when people say you turn 40 and they're like, you get this confidence, that never really happened to me. I was like, I still feel the same.
Where's that
I'm like, I'm
confidence?
still trying to do it all. But now I'm like, okay, maybe 41 is where I'm just like, I'm
You're just
okay.
settling into your
Yeah.
40s.
I'm
You're just
settling into my 40s. I'm just like making my own schedule. No rush. No rush. Everything's okay.
Sleep is important.
I love
Sleep is
that.
important. Yeah.
Well, we're happy you
I
said
like
yes,
sleeping in too. That's
and that you're
nice.
here with us.
I love this. I'll never say no to this.
Good. I love that. All right, we're gonna play a round of Queenie Grams, our made-up game. So Becca, now you
Okay.
get to learn about
Yeah,
it.
You can
Okay.
see what this is all about.
Hopefully we're smart enough to play.
You are.
I think you'll pass it.
All you have to do is pick a number, each of you, between 1 and 146, and we'll ask you a question. We'll all
Okay.
answer the questions.
Okay.
So Becca, do you want to go first?
Yep.
Pick a number.
Let's go with 40.
40. Oh, in celebration, what is your favorite dessert? We haven't had this one in a while.
Mm.
Ooh, wait till she tells you our family secret
I know. So what?
that we don't like.
But I know. I was gonna say,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
bring up turtles. No, I don't. What do? Oh, tiramisu. Tiramisu. If
Oh,
I'm gonna do dessert, yeah, we have one for her husband's birthday not too long ago.
Italian market. So
Yeah.
I do love a
oh,
tiramisu.
that would
Yeah.
be so good, actually.
God,
The
they make
cream.
gorgeous
There's just so
cake.
many flavors
So
in
good.
it.
I know.
Yeah.
Mocha.
So
The
good.
layer.
Mhm.
I love that. What?
Amaretto.
Oh, I don't like amaretto, actually. Is that?
In the cake, it's
Yeah, I
really
like
Yeah.
that
good.
cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
What's your favorite dessert?
I'm gonna say, yeah, like a tiramisu or something chocolate, like something dense chocolate,
Mm.
like you know, like Wooden Monkey used to make this amazing like flourless chocolate cake.
Tofu chocolate pie.
Yeah, like something
Mhm.
that's like dense chocolate.
Mhm.
I'm not like a pie person or like a
Mm.
fruity. Don't bring me a fruit for dessert. Bring me like a piece of chocolate or like something that's like
So no
Coffee
fruit
based.
tart for you.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I probably eat it because like, why?
Why would I say no?
Yeah, why would I say no?
Gotta
But
try.
I can definitely like when I see someone bring out a pie, I'm not like, that looks good. I'm like, that looks dry.
Yeah.
Bring me a moist cake.
You're like, I'll
Yeah.
skip this one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so easy at our family dinners. My in-laws love pies, and they'll always just like, there's always so many people, so they
Yeah.
feel obligated. We need to offer dessert, and
Yeah.
I never say yes to pie.
Yeah,
like,
me neither.
like maybe well, she's dead now, but my grandmother used to make,
Yeah.
occasionally I would eat that,
Yeah.
but I don't even think about desserts. Like I
No,
don't even
no,
know.
We're
either.
like, so like last night it was funny because we were at my parents and the husbands and my dad love
Love
pie and
pie.
love dessert. So it was like,
So
I was
funny.
like, I hope this isn't gendered, but I was like looking over and they were like all eating pie and they literally have the biggest appetites. They probably ate an entire pie between the three of them. And then me and Becca and mom were like,
We never get.
we
dessert.
never eat dessert
Mm.
because we're like salty, like we
Yeah, I
just
never
chips
thought
or
about
like,
that.
Yeah.
I hope
like-
the kids don't think it's like gendered
I
based.
know, I hope not. Like, I'm like,
Just pretend. Mm.
yeah, we're like,
Yeah.
So yeah, we're more salty.
We might need to deep dive ourselves on that.
Yeah. what's wrong
Yeah.
with us?
Okay. You
Yeah.
guys will have to look
I'm
to
gonna
that.
say
Yeah.
something really silly, but today I had a sweet tooth because I was having coffee and I got
Yeah.
a local made with local bar, and that to me was like
Mm.
heaven. Or
Yes,
occasionally I enjoy a
that's
cookie
enough.
with Sarah. Like that would
Yeah.
be my
Yes.
Yeah.
my choice.
Yeah, something that
probably.
you can like dip into your coffee is kind of nice sometimes.
Crunchy.
Yeah, something like
Okay,
that. Yeah, I
yeah.
like something like that or Planet Organic. I'm really thrown at the local desserts.
Yeah, you really are.
Cosmic cookies
Shout out.
are
Oh, yeah.
really good.
That's like
Okay.
a breakfast. That's like
Yeah,
a
it's like,
party.
yeah,
yes.
we cut
Mm.
them in fourths, and so you have like a little square of them. 'cause they're like,
Right.
if you eat a whole one, you do not need a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah, like that.
Sarah, what about you?
I don't know. I've been very into candy lately. That's the
Mm.
thing
That could
that's
be your
really
dessert.
that's
Yeah.
really been exciting
What
for
kind
me.
are you, like sour?
No, I definitely do not want sour
Oh,
candy.
no, okay.
You're
Not
like,
spicy.
Sour
cheese.
cheese.
No, I don't like stuff like that. I like right now I'm into
Those
the
hot ones. What are they called?
oh the hot tamales.
Yeah,
I
you were
can't
talking
find
about
them though here. I don't think
You
they're
should go to,
are they
like-
in Canada? They're not. They-
Yeah, you could probably
You
get
should
them
go
at
to
Fruit
like that.
Box.
She's gone.
special
Oh, that's
store.
right.
I've gone to
I
all
went
of
to all
them.
the
Underground snacks.
No, I've been there.
You've
They
been
don't
there,
have them.
it? No
In
more
Bulk
hot
Barn?
Maybe
I've never
bulk
had one
barn.
of these.
Anyways, it's not a big.
kind of like
I had them
Mike and
for the
Ike's, but-
first time. Yeah. And so I've ended
Oh.
up eating
Mhm.
tropical Mike and Ike's, which is not
like
at all
Mike and
what I
like Mike
wanted.
and Ike's.
Yeah.
It's a good like chew.
Yeah,
Do you
I
like
hot
Mike and
lips?
Ike's.
That's what I'm picturing them.
They
to
taste
Yeah,
like
they
that,
taste
but
like
they're
that, but
better
they're
in the
Mike
Mike
and
and Ike
Ike
form.
Remember
Yeah.
big feet and hot lips? I used to
Yeah.
get those to watch my brother play hockey.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Mm.
hated the hot lips, but I like the big feet.
And the
Yeah.
hot lips
Yeah.
would make everything else, every other candy in the bag taste
Yeah.
like cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
I never
Coke
liked
cans. Those little like
Oh,
fillers.
really?
Mm.
Those are good.
Ooh.
And the frogs.
Yeah.
I like a very specific.
This is
gummy
actually one
bear.
of our questions. And
Yeah.
Which is all funny.
Oh.
So I love that.
It is.
All right, Anna, what number would you like between 1 and 148?
88.
88.
Ooh, I don't think we.
I've like never heard that
don't know
number.
if we-
Okay.
Number
First question.
8 is like
We did.
We
supposed
did.
to, like bring riches. So I'm
Ju-
doing a spell. A good one.
A good
We
spell.
were talking
Well,
about
this
that.
one actually I think is a great question for you guys. What life mystery do you wish you could know the answer to? I feel like this is perfect for the pop
Ooh.
pop pod.
I'll just go
Life.
first. I would just love, and we're gonna keep it pop culture. I would just love to know like what's going on with Britney. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see
That's a
the
good one.
medical record.
Is she pregnant? Is she not?
What really
Right. Do you not
happened
think
in
she's
those
pregnant right
13
now?
years?
Some people don't. Hmm.
How
Do you
old is
want
she
to
right
be
now?
Pregnant right now.
Um,
She's 40. I
She's
don't think she
40.
would have
Okay.
a problem.
She could, yeah.
And also like it's just like all the Kardashians are gonna like they're like Courtney and Kim are in their 40s. They're planning on having more children. They
Mhm.
both said they want 2 more.
Really?
Yeah. They're gonna do like the
Jeez.
Chris, because you know Chris had her 4 with Robert Kardashian and then
Yes.
she has 2 Jenners. So Kim and Courtney both want to do that with their new tattooed tall boyfriends.
They're
Copycats of each other.
matching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
that's a good
white.
one. Yeah, exactly. They've got their twin boyfriends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
strange. Yeah. Anyways.
for
Yeah,
them.
so what's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on with Brittany? We want to know.
That's
Yeah,
a good
it's
one.
just
That's a
like,
good one.
Okay. Is she
Yeah.
okay?
Was it abusive? Did she need to be in there?
I think
What's
it
the mental
definitely
illness?
was. I just want to know what's going on now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
Right.
love a
Perfect.
like
I think that's a
look
really good one.
into her daily life.
Yes.
You know, maybe it's all ploy. Everything that she puts on, it's
Yeah.
like her. Maybe she's normal.
Mhm.
Well, I always
But
say
she
that
but
to
she
Anna.
burnt down her gym still. That's
Oh
part of
my
it.
God.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
our
know that.
favorite. That
That's
was our
our-
favorite.
We quote that all the time.
Like recently,
like
What, a
last year,
ago?
yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Anna,
like,
do
when
the
she'd be like,
play.
She had
"Hi,
candles
I'm
or
back at my
something.
gym. I finally, well, actually we're at my gym. Some candles got out of control, but anyway, I was like,
That was
okay,
the post.
elaborate on your.
She just
birthday."
knows one thing led to another and my gym burnt down.
That's amazing.
I know.
I just can't get over her like topless and like
Oh, I
her
know.
heels. Those
the little brown
pumps, I
pumps
know.
that are
they're
like
so ugly.
they're so
I know.
ugly.
It's so
I know. It's so funny. She has
I
all the money
know.
in the world, but she's wearing these like
Brown pumps.
like what are they called? Like Mary Janes, but they're from like literally when she was in high school. She
Yeah.
didn't go to high school. That was a problem.
Maybe.
Oh,
I know. Poor Brit.
Poor Brit.
yeah, she's sweet. That would be a good one to know.
Yeah.
Do you have a different one?
Life mystery. I want to know what happened with Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's a very good
Because
one.
I was actually like watching some, because I was on like I've deep dived on Michael Jackson so much because before, you
Mhm.
know, all the things came out, I was such a fan. I remember when he died being so upset, like, and it's just sad again when you watch child stars give their whole entire life away. No childhood, no high school experience, no normal dating. Like he was so insecure, constantly, obviously feeling so bad about himself, as we know with all like the plastic surgery and stuff.
Mhm.
And then all these awful stories that are coming out. And there's so many odd interviews of him with children where like it's
And it's
How did
weird
we
that they
miss
don't
it?
say
So in
anything.
jail now.
Yeah.
How did what was that?
No, it's just weird that none of them say anything.
Well,
like
his
still to
family,
this day.
his family, because I've watched a lot of interviews to this day, his family is like he was destroyed by the media.
Mm.
Wade, what's Wade's last name? The ones that just came out with the
Wade.
recent like Leaving
Yeah.
Neverland, that Wade just wants money, like
I don't
that
believe
people
that.
I know it's really, really hard. Also, like his children, it's such an interesting story. Like he was married to their mother,
Mhm.
but she's
Was he?
she's very
Okay.
strange.
I know. I remember.
Her name's Debbie or something, but she's like, I didn't really want children, but I wanted Michael to have children. And I was anything for him. And I'm like, how do your children like hearing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And then when they broke
And
up,
they're
she was like, I
adults.
gave the children to Michael because they were Michael's children. They were never from me. But I'm like, nobody wants their mom to say that.
No,
Like,
that's weird.
so I'm just very like, Blanket, where did Blanket come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I have a
where's
lot
that
of-
mom now?
She's around.
Okay.
She had cancer, and so her and Paris kind of reconnected.
Okay,
Paris
good.
Jackson. So anyway, his kids are on Instagram.
Oh,
they seem
interesting.
They're full
they
adults.
seem somewhat normal. Well,
Mhm.
She seems like she's struggling a bit.
Paris, yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I would there's so many questions. Then of course, like when he died, the fact that like this is also a huge problem in Hollywood is that these doctors will prescribe whatever. Like basically like
Going under
going
for surgery.
under for surgery every night. Like that's the kind of
That's insane.
sedative they were giving him. Like, so no wonder he died. Like, so dangerous, those drugs. So
Yeah.
So Paris Hilton's mom, Kathy Hilton, and
Mhm.
Michael Jackson were best friends, and they had a bond that they would both name their first daughters.
Oh, I
Paris.
didn't,
I didn't know that
that.
either. I knew they were
Mhm.
friends, but I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sarah, should we
So-
do that?
Yes.
yeah.
What's
What
the
would you
name?
name?
Star.
No,
I'm
I already
joking.
have
Were
it.
we talking about that? Was that you the other day?
No. What did
Star?
your name
That's
your child
cute.
star?
No, I thought we were joking about you. Never, maybe it was
Who's-
you.
who-
Maybe I dreamt this.
Who said that I would name my child Star? My father always makes that joke
But
that my
maybe that's
child
why
would be
I've heard
named like
that.
Stardust. And I'm like, I will not name my child Stardust.
Oh my
That could be
gosh.
cute.
Okay, do you
Oh,
want to
no.
know what life mystery?
Yeah, I want to.
I want to know. I mean, we know what happened with the Titanic. We know it
Yeah.
had an iceberg, but I want to know more. Like, I want to
Yeah.
know what went on. Like, what?
Yeah.
We're the last.
Yeah, like what happened to Jack and Rose? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just like what? Like, just how that all like.
How that happened.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually the anniversary, isn't it? Like this time of year that just happened. I feel like it's been like
Possibly.
110 years. Like
Is it November? I don't know.
I remember when it was like the 100th year or
maybe that was
something.
the Halifax explosion.
That was a few
We're
years
really bad
ago.
at history.
That was
Yeah.
a few years ago.
Non-pop culture history.
I feel like someone else brought up the Titanic.
Yeah. Anything that you would actually learn in school, we're like, what?
Yeah.
No,
Can I leave that on the list?
No, you're right. You're right. It's May 31st. I was
There you go.
wrong.
Okay, yeah.
1911.
May
Yeah.
31st,
Yes, yeah, yeah, so
1991.
110 years.
Yeah.
I was almost right.
Well,
heck?
it'll
I
be
know.
yeah, be 111
That's
years.
just
Yeah.
so insane to think about. Anyways, I was obsessed with that movie. I
Interesting.
think
Oh,
I
that
saw it in
movie
the
was
theater like
so
7
good.
times.
I know.
Yeah.
Leo was so hot in that movie.
Oh.
Such a babe.
Yeah.
Such a babe.
Yeah, he was in his prime.
So hot.
Unfortunately.
He's a little weird
Yeah.
too, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 What
There's
would
a
you want to
lot
figure
of
out?
stories about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That he likes to have sex with pets. So when he has,
What? That
Yeah.
he what?
yeah, so this is Leo's thing, and I've heard this
This
all.
is a secret.
This is why people need to listen to podcasts, because when you listen to podcasts, you get the real,
The
like,
real story.
juicy stuff.
Yeah.
Us
Yeah.
Media stuff.
Yeah, it's not the Us Weekly stuff. So I've heard a few stories now on podcasts of girls that have slept with him, like people from LA. And his deal is they like curate them, and they're like, Leo wants to see you. They go back in the room. He has Beats headphones on where
Oh
he
my God,
listens to
I'm
electronic
scared.
music.
On drugs?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
assuming he's on drugs. And they have sex, and then he's like, bye.
He doesn't
Beats.
talk to them?
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's
He keeps on the headphones the whole time. I'm like,
degrading.
that's so creepy. Yeah, I know.
and I would
was just
not,
like-
even if though it's
So-
him, I wouldn't do that.
I would
No.
not
I'd be
do
like, you have
that.
to be like into this a little bit.
Yeah.
No, like
I'm
how to
like-
wreck your self-esteem. Have sex with
Ugh.
someone who's wearing headphones.
Yes,
Listening
it
to
isn't even
something
acknowledging
else.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's
I
just
wouldn't even
creepy.
let Jeff do that. And I know he's
No.
into it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You're like, if that's your kink, Jeff, no.
I mean, he probably
You're like,
doesn't
you
wanna
will listen to me while we have
He has like
Yeah.
one
I will hear
AirPod in.
everything
Yeah.
I have to
to
say
say.
Yeah.
about
Captive
this.
audience. Yeah.
That's so funny. Sarah, what would you
Oh my
want to do
God.
to close this out on the like?
Oh, now I want to know everything about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Like,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Well, I think
I
we
don't
are
even
gonna
know.
No, we're hearing so much, but
Here's-
now I want to
just
hear
embarrassing
all of the
yourself.
hearsay things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want him to finish these stories.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a deep dive on that.
I
Yeah,
actually
we're
just
gonna have
want to
to
hear
listen.
his side of everything, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
But
I know it's kind of like crazy with that story because they're so toxic, and I feel like now everyone's like hating on Amber, but clearly like I heard like a phone call that they posted in the courtroom, and someone posted it on Instagram, and then everyone in the comments was like, oh my God, Amber's a psycho, blah blah blah. But in it, Johnny was like kind of like, yeah, and she was like, you hit me too, and he's like, yeah, and who started it? I'm like, that's just not okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
Or
she's
when-
like, I'm 115 pounds, like you're bigger than me. And he's like, and she goes, well, I used to be. And then he's like, well, what do you want to do about it? Anyway, it's such a toxic relationship.
oh no, it definitely 100%
But
is.
yeah, yeah.
Or
I
what
don't
was the
know.
other thing he had? There was like a message.
Well, he
where-
was married. He was married to gorgeous Vanessa Paradis.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot
she's
about
beautiful.
her.
I know, and she's been so chill the whole time. Like she's been
Well,
like,
she's come
Johnny's
out
a great guy.
in
Like,
support of him.
yeah,
Yes.
so I'm like, you know what? That woman has so much class. Like she's just
Mhm.
like, I'm not getting involved. Like, he's
Where
nice.
are
He's good
his
to our
children?
children. They're around. They're probably
Do they live in
devastated.
Europe though?
Yeah.
Okay, because we
So,
never like see
his
them.
daughter's a model, of course.
Mhm.
What else would you be when your
With
parents
two
are
parents.
celebrities?
Yeah.
I know nothing about this Johnny Depp story.
It's just really funny if you just put in hashtag Johnny
Yeah.
Depp
Is there a
Instagram, all the
documentary
video.
on
No, it's
Oh.
it's happening now.
Oh.
The court case is streaming live every
Yeah.
day, like Monday through
Yeah,
Thursday.
and
it's just, like,
a
wild.
million people, like I guess like 600,000 people like watch it a day live.
So I don't do that, but usually once a day I'll go on at the end of the day and
Yeah.
just
See
see.
the clips.
And
yeah.
so I actually really like Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
And I find him
A
even
lot of
more
people.
endearing now because he's just like funny and charming and like
yeah.
it's hard not to. And
Yes.
to be fair, everything
Doesn't he have
horrible.
accent now.
I think he always has. Like
Where
he's
he's
always
from?
talked.
It's like
He's
a
from
thespian.
Tennessee, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always.
He's like a mystery.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. Yeah, it's like where?
Yeah, I-
like this. Like,
You do feel that
yeah.
way. But I think more so for him, it's just upside because he's coming up more positively in
Mhm.
the public eye again. And I feel
Yes.
like he'll probably start getting work.
Right.
And she's just being
The
completely
psycho bitch, which is the classic story.
Misogyny. They don't like
mean,
the woman. They like.
but she's
he-
done some very
Yes.
weird things.
Yes,
so like
that's
I don't
what-
think
yeah.
she's perfectly
I don't think
yeah.
she's a good person.
No, I don't think so either. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
writing like when you have just as many skeletons in your closet and then coming out with a
Yes,
public article,
yes.
painting it all like it's someone else's. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not
Yeah, I
No.
guess she did start.
like
it.
she's taking
She did
advantage
start
of a
it.
situation where
Yeah.
of just like the nature of our society today.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Where it's,
Yeah.
women have been so overlooked in this regard that she's just entirely like
Yes.
flaming him.
And I
Yeah,
think that I don't think she's like a good person. Obviously, she was
No, they
supposed to
don't
donate
want-
money to a children's hospital with like the last lawsuit that she won, and she just never did.
Yeah, her assistant did not
Yeah.
speak well of her.
So she definitely doesn't have a clean rap. I think
No.
together they're just like so toxic.
No, yeah, they're
Yeah,
obviously like
clearly.
terrible. Like they bring out the
Yes.
worst in each other.
Yeah.
I think
But
there's a
he's
lot of
definitely
drug
winning.
use because there seems to be a lot of reference to like drugs and drinking.
Yeah. Well, did you guys see him pulling up to the courtroom the other day? I posted it
No.
on Pop Pod. It was like he was like blasting reggae music and he like pulled up and he like came out and he's like, I was like, okay, he's getting his vibe on before
Really?
But
court.
like I just like, but she also dresses like him every day,
I
which is
know,
like there's
that's
something
I need
weird.
to
sick.
watch this.
Oh yeah.
There's something like taunting and
I'm
sick
terrified
about
of
doing
her.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and she pooped in his
And she
bed,
shit
which is
in
very
his
weird.
bed. Which is
weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, she must have mental illness.
I started an Instagram live because I thought this was juicy, and some people are
Yeah.
chiming in, and they're talking about it right now. Actually,
Okay.
two people,
What-
But
and they
what-
said that she has a personality disorder.
Yes,
I
Yeah,
did
she
read.
is, yeah.
Is it like a narcissism? thing?
It's I don't know if it's no, it's called like hysteria.
Okay,
Or something.
Yeah.
And
she
I'll have to look
definitely-
this
And I
up.
think it's close to borderline.
okay.
Yeah. She's definitely, I don't know what I would never shit in someone's bed. Cause I'm like,
no.
Much as your
I mean,
husband's, like,
I'm like,
you
are-
definitely would.
are you trying to look hot when you break up with someone? And be like, look,
Yeah.
I'm thriving in life. I'm not taking a dump in your bed.
Oh,
also
God.
it'd just be disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. For
And then
you
she
as
tried to
well.
blame it on their little small dog. And they're like, no, we know what little dogs. Shit.
It was
Yeah.
so, and then
And
she,
people are saying borderline personality disorder.
Okay,
so that
okay.
must be like.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways, the poor soul.
Something.
Sounds awful for her.
It sounds awful. I think
Oh.
she's remarried.
is she?
I
To
think
a
she has a
woman.
girlfriend. Yeah.
And
She's
if
always
they have
been
a child, right?
And she was with Elon Musk for a while too, which
Yes.
brings
Of
up
course,
another
Elon Musk
wave of
has-
questions.
Yeah, exactly. Another mystery.
But he actually paid, I think, what she was owing that hospital. I think
Oh, maybe
he
he
actually
did.
And he
paid
ended up
what she
paying
was
it.
going to donate.
He's
Yes.
supposed to speak, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think not in her favor. I think also for
Yeah.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Depp.
no one seems to like her, which is not good.
Yeah. Never good. I think that, yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, Elon Musk is another mystery. I want to know about his children because he's got like 8 of them. And Grimes, an artist who
He has that many
and the
kids.
weird
they have 2.
names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's a weird guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, all the mysteries, we'll get them solved.
Yes.
Gals, where can people find you?
Ooh.
Everywhere.
And our Instagram is popping, y'all. I just laugh because I'm like trying to like get our social media, but at Pop Pod Weekly on TikTok and Instagram, and just follow because there's some stuff that's gonna be dropping.
I
Not
love
by
this.
Amber Heard.
Oh my God.
Nice one.
And we'll also link your podcast in the show notes as
Yes.
well.
Every Monday we do a podcast.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us. That was fun.